Welcome to another episode of the Pastor and the Professor. We are right into...
We are the light of the world. We are light.
Yeah.
That's our thing. So last week we did salt, and we pulled a whole episode out of Salt of the Earth.
We did. Well, we got into some French.
Yeah. Right, yeah, exactly.
And stories.
When your French has lost its Frenchiness, you're not left with much, that's for sure. Except a certificate that says you passed the qualifier. That's all I need. All right. But salt is a wonderful blessing. It can lose its saltiness. Yep. But then we said by God's searching for us, even if we've lost that salted faith, he finds us like a good father, like a shepherd, and restores us. So that's great. Now we've got a new image, and that is...
light. Yeah. So Jesus moves from salt over to light.
Yes.
And for both of them, I kind of like the light one.
Yes.
Because it's a continuous light. Our faith isn't something that we turn on and off.
Right.
Right. So I have my porch light on, and then before we go to bed, Diane will say, "Is that porch light off?"
Right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, we got that.
We got it. Because otherwise we burn it all night, which is, wasteful of energy and all that. But it is a nice image here.
Yeah,
Right.
It is.
Now I'm holding your Lutheran Study Bible because I said I got a story, and this is a true story, and I used it at River of Life this Sunday. I really do spend half my life looking for my keys, my phone, and my wallet.
Yeah.
Where are my keys,
my
phone,
pan
and wallet?
stands.
Oh my gosh! It's in my saddlebag for my motorcycle. Where is it? Well, I was getting bored with those, so I added another component that was lost. I lost my flash drive, and I know everything's backed up in the cloud somewhere, but I've never really understood that.
I don't even know where the cloud
I don't
is.
know. So I back up everything on just a simple flash drive. Couldn't find it. I know it's got to be somewhere. It's either here or it's at River of Life or home. But then it's small enough that now you start looking everywhere.
Of course.
Seat cushions. We'll take out the, every a chair I haven't sat in, I think, for a week or so. I'm still looking, And finally, on Saturday, it's been gone for about 3-4 days. I was in my office at home, and my Lutheran Study Bible was out just like this. And I noticed a lump right under the Study Bible. I flipped it. And there was my flash drive. Now, here's the sentence that mattered. I found what was missing in the pages of my Bible. I found what I was looking for.
You didn't find it like right on the parable of the prodigal son?
No.
Which would have been great.
I think it was in 2 Thessalonians, the man of lawlessness or something like that. That was, If I said that, nobody would believe it. But no, it really was. It was fun just to say, I found what I was looking for in the pages of the Bible, waiting to be turned. And
it was there all along.
And shouting to me, I'm sure, over here, you fool. Stop looking under the couch cushions.
My sheep hear my voice.
Exactly. Yeah, I wish that voice was a little louder.
But it's really a great example of how we end up looking everywhere. For the things that would give us purpose and meaning and completion.
Right.
And where is it really found?
Yeah, right here. Right here.
God's Word.
Right. And we look and we look and we look. And the circle gets bigger and bigger and bigger.
And then we go back to that same chair 3 times.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, why didn't I look at that little lump on that Study Bible? I didn't. I checked. I can tell you, I checked the drawer underneath it, which has all kinds of stuff. No, not there. And all that. So, and it was timely. It was Saturday afternoon, Sunday morning. I got to share that all 3 services at River, and that's how we started. It was a fun way to start church.
Wasn't it nice that you didn't find it like at 12:30 on a Sunday afternoon?
Yeah, I know. Then I was going to say last week. It was fresh. And I did have to warn them that this might be the best line, example, idea that I'm going to have all service. And I know we're only 30 seconds in. Yeah. You can't leave yet.
Yeah. But you'll tune me out.
Well, right. Anyway, and besides, the coffee and donuts
Candy
weren't
Crush.
out yet. Yeah, wait. Just wait. It might get better. It won't. All right. Well, you want to read that first? We're on verse 14 for our friends who are following along.
Yep. You are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden. Nor do people light a lamp and put it under a basket, but on a stand, and it gives light to all the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others, so that they may see your good works and give glory to your Father who is in heaven.
That is a great one.
It
so,
is.
So, in the last one, we were in danger of losing entirely the very quality that saves, our saltiness. Here, the light stays on.
Yeah.
How much you're letting the world see it is the variable here. But isn't it?
And why it's shining.
Oh, not just about you.
Ah, there you go. Yeah.
Right.
This isn't about me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because how selfish. I have that light.
Yeah.
I'm not letting anybody know.
And it's interesting. Jesus says, you are the light of the world. Later, he's going to say,
I'm
the light of the world.
right.
Right? So, well, Jesus, which is it? And he'll
Yeah.
say, yes.
Yes.
It's both.
Well, you do this beautifully at First Emmanuel. Christmas Eve, candles.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Explain to people what is just a beautiful later afternoon, it's getting darker kind of moment. Explain this beautiful, you have the light, you are the light, but what are we doing?
And we go out and greet. Is that the one you're talking about? Yeah. After we sing Silent Night in German,
Right.
not
Yeah,
French,
yeah.
not
No,
French. It's
no.
it's auf Deutsch.
Yeah, right.
Stille
Yeah.
Nacht, Heilige
Yeah.
Nacht. But yeah, then you go out into the congregation,
Yes.
share the light,
Share
and they
the
go
light.
into the world
Beautiful.
and share the light.
It's a wonderful
Yeah,
thing. Yeah, it's a very, and if other ones in Butternut, we'd have it on the Wednesday night before Christmas.
Yeah.
That was our last Advent service was the candlelight one.
Oh.
And we take the lights down, and then I would go down and just go back and forth. I mean, you always had two, I just myself. And then we're singing Joy to the World, and then we sing Silent Night. By the time it was Silent Night, the only light on were our candles. And you got light, and we're in this little town, white framed, 8 stained glass windows. Come on, it doesn't
Nothing
get better.
better.
It doesn't better. Although River of Life is and First Emmanuel are equally
yeah.
beautiful, but and then singing with the candles, with the light,
But the Butternut Church on Christmas Eve is kind of a Norman Rockwell thing.
pretty hard to beat.
Yeah.
And you know what? I take this the right way. Church people look the very best in the candlelight of Christmas Eve service.
Yep.
They look good.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter who,
They
how.
also feel good.
They feel good. There's something about that light.
Yeah.
And it's a marvelous thing.
Yeah.
And you greet them, and it's just a wonderful, and it's the simplest thing. Merry Christmas. And then they say, Merry Christmas, Pastor.
Yeah.
Holding the light.
Yeah.
Oh, you can tell we want to go there right now. If our friends,
I
know. And it's
that's part that I'm going to miss.
Mm-hmm.
Being a retired guy.
Yeah, well, just come on. You and I can walk down the River of Life aisle together, and we'll put candles out.
May take
with
you up
people.
on that.
And
Be
wouldn't that be
careful.
fun? Wouldn't
Yeah,
that be fun?
yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, because it's a beautiful thing. Church people always do look good by grace.
Yep.
Church people look really good by the light of a Christmas Eve candle.
And then they become the light,
They do.
right? You know, it's kind of like this last week here, full moon,
Yes.
big bright,
Beautiful.
shiny moon.
Yeah.
The moon has no light.
No.
It
Well, what it
reflects
reflects
the
it.
light of the sun,
Absolutely.
as we reflect the light of the Son of God.
Nice
so
touch, that
we
reflective light.
we are reflectors.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Dispensers, reflectors. It's
Yeah.
kind of a combination.
Yeah.
You share that light with dad to mom to the kiddos, right?
Yeah.
And the kiddos hold on to that light as long as they can. Have you ever noticed as people are going out,
Oh yeah.
mom and dad are, but that little one wants that light to go all the way outside up to the car. I love that picture.
It is.
So there's light
Beautiful.
to be preserved, shared, reflected. These are great verbs.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Which is
So,
what Jesus
light
was
of the
trying to
world.
get across, right?
Yes. In fact, this light now you can't really inhibit it. You put it on it. It cannot be hidden.
Yeah.
Right. So, little John chapter 1, Jesus says, says the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness does not overcome it.
Yeah.
It cannot overcome it.
Yeah.
Isn't that a beautiful thought? I used to use this analogy. Take a candle down into a coal mine 500 feet down. Is there nothing but utter darkness?
Yeah.
Coal, mountain, stone, black. None of it can put out that candle.
Yeah.
The mere darkness and the weight of the world above it cannot by itself put out that candle. That candle will burn.
I'm not real good science guy.
Oh, yeah.
Not my thing. But I do know this, that darkness is the absence of light.
Yes.
So the absence of Jesus is a very dark life, right?
Yes.
Evil. Well, evil is the absence of good.
Yes. Utter darkness.
Yeah, utter darkness. Yeah. So we are the ones who are to dispel the darkness of guilt and shame and provide the light of forgiveness and hope
Exactly.
to these people.
It isn't that the very draw. We hope that, like, for instance, not that it's only in church, but that when people come near to a congregation, come near on a Saturday night, a Sunday morning, that they're drawn to that light without fear. This light isn't a harsh examining, like some old detective show where we put the guilty guy in and we put 2 lights on him and say, all right, confess. No, but it's a drawing light.
Yeah.
And I mean, literally, our churches should be, I think, bright.
Yeah.
And narthex should be welcoming. Come on in and more.
Yeah, light is interesting because it does reveal things.
Yeah.
So you're going to get the 3rd degree. The lights, we're going to reveal, where were you on September 20th?
Yeah, like you would remember.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. I don't know where I was yesterday.
I know, exactly.
But it's also revealing of good things.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So I walk into the dark room and the lights go on and everyone says, surprise, happy
Wonderful.
birthday. Oh, look at
man,
all these people that are.
fantastic.
Yeah,
Exactly.
So the light of the word reveals my brokenness,
Yes.
but that's darkness is dispelled by the light of Christ.
Exactly. And it's got to be his work. Because remember, Jesus says, men love the darkness, for their deeds are evil.
Yep.
Well, yeah, if all I focus is on what I've done, that no light, please.
Right.
I'll just lurk around in the back. But when he, who is the light of the world, and then says, let me share that light with you.
Yeah.
And I said, I don't want to look. He says, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. He has declared perfect all those who have trusted in him, the Hebrews. And it's a wonderful idea.
Yeah.
You know, we use the word perfect in a sort of casual way. How do I look? Perfect. But he meant it.
Yeah.
Without stain or wrinkle or spot or blemish, but holy and blameless in his sight. That little Ephesians 5.
Yep.
That's how, in his light, we look. Whoa. Come out of the darkness. Be unafraid of his light.
There's a lot of times I go in the morning in the bathroom and I turn the light on and I know I don't necessarily want to see what I'm going to see.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Years ago, when I was running, I had an evening run, and I passed out at the end, and I face planted, and my glasses smacked into my face. And I woke up on the ground, and I was bleeding all over here, and so I went home, and I was right in front of home. We went to the emergency room, and a very kind woman, doc, sewed me up, stitches here, and a couple weeks later, it got infected, and my whole face was puffed up and swollen shut. And I kept going into work and teach at Concordia every day. Boy, I'll scare the students. I look like a one-eyed pirate. And we had a wonderful nurse, just a wonderful nursing prof, and she came up to me, and with that, that heartfelt bedside manner that a wonderful nurse has, she stopped me and she looked, and she was only like 6 inches away from my face. Said, "Oh, Dan, I've been praying about your face." And I said, "Oh, thank you so much. But, my mother's been praying about my face for 40 years now. It really hasn't helped. But I appreciate the thought." Oh, she was wonderful. Some people have that nursing tone, and you know what they should be. Gosh, she was great. Oh, I've never had somebody come that close and say, "I've been praying about your face." So have I.
Abraham Lincoln tells the story of he was riding into the woods and he saw a woman on horseback. She pulled out her rifle and she pointed at him and he said, "Madam, madam, madam, don't shoot."
Right.
And she says, "Well, I am a very ugly woman and I always vowed if I ever met someone uglier than me, I would shoot him." And Lincoln said, "Madam, if I am uglier than you, shoot away."
Oh, my heavens. That's quite a life search, or vow.
Yeah.
I'm going to find someone even uglier than I am. Well, there you go. So pray for our faces. Well, whatever. But we can't hide, or at least ought not to be.
No. And what I like on 15, there's a couple of choices here.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, yes. Right. No one does this.
you have to do something with your life.
Right.
It's going to be one of the. So we talked about the lukewarm
Right.
last week.
You can't.
There's no lukewarm light.
No,
Here's your light.
it's on,
It's either on or off.
and it's either on and you've covered it, hidden it.
Yep.
You know, which it sounds like it's still there.
Yeah. You
Still
just can't see
You
it.
can't see it. You
Yeah.
know, it's just, and that shade is getting really hot. But
Yeah.
there it is. Or put it. Don't just even take the shade off. Put it on a stand.
Put it on a stand a little higher.
Whatever, and just let her shine.
Yeah.
And then, as we said earlier, not just for your sake, but for the sake of somebody else.
Right. Yep.
Right. This selfish, frightened
Yeah.
hiding
Yeah,
is
yeah,
all about
yeah,
you.
yeah. Haven't you heard people say, "Well, my faith is private"?
Oh, yes. Yes. Well, and yes, it is.
It sure.
Certainly is
Yeah.
penetrating into
Yeah.
all that you are and private.
But
Then you can just read this verse.
we are to be living witnesses, you know?
Right.
And why is that on the stand? So others, this light can shine on others.
You know, you could say, and it's just, isn't it wonderful? So you want to agree with them.
Yeah.
Isn't it wonderful that you have that faith and it's so private, it's so deeply in yourself and heart that you know Jesus has forgiven you,
Yeah.
that he's promised you eternal life, that he walks with you every day. Isn't that wonderful that you know that and have that? Are there other people who maybe could benefit
Oh.
by knowing that?
Yeah.
And maybe you know some of them, and
Yeah.
I'm sure you do.
Yeah.
What do you think you might do to help them know the very gift that you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, we get this. You and I are old enough to remember the Kennedy
Oh, sure. Yes.
explosion evangelism
Yes.
kind
Yeah.
of thing.
Go out, cold calls,
Cold calls,
ask.
knock on the door.
Did 'em.
And it's, "Hi, I'm from such and such church. Do you have
Yeah.
a moment for a couple of questions?"
Yes.
Sure. What's your question? If you were to die tonight, would you go to heaven? Oh, well, boy, I haven't thought about that. Well, I think so. Yes, because
Okay.
I was good.
That's the lead to the next one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, field work in St. Louis.
Okay.
Went to the church. They handed me cards. Go make calls
Nice.
on these.
Oh,
Kennedy evangelism explosion. Go
and these
do
are
this.
like they came once
3 by 5.
visitors.
Oh no, they've never been.
Oh, heavenly
But
days.
there's this little card. Now I'm noticing that every single field worker for the last 12 years has visited these homes.
With the very same two
it's- yeah.
questions.
So here I am.
Uh huh. Alone, or do you get two by two?
Two.
Good.
So
Thank
I
goodness.
Yep. Lady opens the door. "Hi, how are you?" "Hi, I'm from Concordia
Yeah.
Seminary in St. Louis. Do you have time for a couple of questions?" And she said, "Sure." And I said, "If you were to die tonight, would you
Okay.
go to heaven?" She said, "I would."
Oh,
And I
good.
said, "Well, if you were to die and the Lord met you at the pearly gates and he asked you, why should I let you in? What would your answer be?" And from the Strato Lounger,
Oh.
I hear a male voice say, "Because every year I got to put up with these seminarians asking me the same questions."
There ought to be a special place for me in heaven. Putting up with you guys. Yeah, yeah. There you go. Okay.
I guess my point is, when we think of sharing our faith, I don't know why, but most people get this image
Right.
that I have to walk up to a stranger
Whole
and say,
stranger.
"Hey, do you know you're going to hell?"
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
But
and-
would you like me to fix that for
Yeah,
you?
yeah. I think I can help you with that.
Yeah.
But that's not it.
No,
Is
no. It's a relationship
Yeah.
that will take longer than the time it takes to ask two questions.
Right. Yep.
And I know that Kennedy envisioned more than that, but those hallmark questions are boom, boom.
Yeah.
I think that this light creates a warmth
Yeah.
that takes a time to unthaw and draw people, and
You know,
that works.
even as pastors, we've talked about this before. You get to the new church,
Right.
and people got to figure out who you are,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And you know, you go to the hospital bed, or you preach some sermons,
Mm-hmm.
or you have a cup of coffee in the
Oh, yeah.
narthex with them.
Right,
and
right.
You ask them about their cat, even though you
Exactly.
can't stand cats. You ask them about their
Whatever.
cat.
Or, yeah.
And then they get to know you, and we're even talking about Christians,
Oh, sure.
and then we're a little bit more open,
Right.
But you know, to have the new next door neighbor come in and you go knock on their
Oh.
door,
Ba-boom.
it might be nice to say, if you're looking for a church, hey,
we go.
here's my river of life.
Right, and
First
we love
Emmanuel.
it.
Yeah,
First
yeah.
Emmanuel, yeah.
But to knock on the door and say, Do you know you're going to hell?
And you know how to get out because you clearly don't, and I will tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, and by the time we were maybe out of the SEM for a few years, everything changed to
Yeah.
lifestyle evangelism,
right.
right? So it's relational.
Yes.
And people get to the point where they trust you, and
Mm-hmm.
and your friend might say, I'm a little scared. I got to go to the hospital
Yeah.
for tests, and you say,
Yeah.
well, what's up? And
Yeah.
they confide, and you say, I am going to pray
Yeah, for you.
about that.
Is
And
that
I wanna-
all right?
We
Yeah.
pray in the morning, and when we
Yeah.
get up, have our coffee, and we're going to remember you
Yeah.
in the prayers. And you can even go far enough when you're in the hospital. I could have my pastor come by if
Yeah,
you want.
right.
It
Yeah,
doesn't
I'm
have
sure it'd
to.
be good.
but-
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And then that's the beauty of being the pastor, because that friend, on a marginal relationship probably isn't going to go again and again and again.
Right.
But you and
Yep,
I have had
yep.
many referrals.
Yep.
Say my mom is in the hospital. She doesn't have any church background.
Yep.
Could you go visit? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I had a wonderful, that was very reference, in Butternut, and mom had no church background, and mom was blind. And it was an interesting call because, of course, she had never met me.
Yeah.
I'd never met her. And, we struck up the nicest conversation, and you keep going back and back and back and back and back.
Yeah.
Eventually, she and her husband both joined us.
Wow.
And it was wonderful. You do confirmation in their
Yeah.
home, and older couple.
But
Wonderful.
It's relational. And in situations like that, someone will say, "Hey, can you go visit?" So and so.
Yeah.
And I've never met these people.
No.
So I walk in, I'll chat with them. Here's why I'm here.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
your cousin
Right.
goes to our church, and,
Right.
and we talk. And I'll ask permission. Like, is it okay if I pray right
Oh,
now
yeah.
for you?
Right.
Yeah.
As you're going.
I don't
Yeah.
just jump into it.
No.
I'll ask.
And what-
can I come back again? Would that be okay?
And you figure out by the visit what's important.
yeah.
They'll talk about their kids. They'll talk
Yeah,
about
yeah.
something,
Yeah.
And but you start on a very human level. I remember there was a new guy, a man, a family moved in. So like in Butternut would be the Schultz place, something like that. Oh yeah, it's the Schultz place. Of course, the Schultzes left 30 years ago, but
Yeah,
it's still the
but we
Schultz
know
place.
their place.
So I pulled in with the Model T, and our friends don't know I have a 1917 Model T, and the man comes out. We had never met. They had never come to church. So we're talking about old cars. We're talking about Model Ts. And after literally 20 minutes, he said, all right, who are you and why are you here? I said, well, I'm the pastor of the Lutheran
And
church.
you said, I forgot.
I forgot. I was having such a great time talking about old cars, But you make a connection on that
Yeah,
level.
yeah.
But it was kind of cute. I said, all right, okay, this has been fun, but what's going on?
Yeah.
And I don't remember. I think they were... this might have been a different visit, but I was telling him all the wonderful things going on at our church, and this, you be involved in this and this, and he said, just so you understand, we moved up here to get away from all that. Oh, so didn't happen. Why do you live deep in the woods? Well, to get away from all of that, And he was maybe a little surprised that all that was already here, waiting to pounce on him. He's waiting for him. There's no getting away. Church. It's all that.
Yeah. And, so for our friends who say, well, I don't have the theological expertise,
No.
and I say that people aren't looking for that.
No.
People just want to know, what is it that makes you so happy?
Yeah.
We're living in the same miserable world as
Yeah.
you, and I'm scared to death because of whatever, politics or
right.
finances or health. And
Yeah.
you say, well, I got the same thing going.
Exactly. Yeah.
I've learned to take it to the Lord in prayer and
Yeah.
trust His guiding, and it's not
Exactly.
fatalistic; it's just realistic. and-
Exactly.
yeah.
If a pastor in making visits either dazzled or confused the people he's visiting with, he missed the whole point.
Right.
This is not a time to demonstrate something and they don't.
Yep.
No. But that anxiety
Yeah.
and concern, but also
Yep.
I know where to go. And
Yeah.
there's one who says, cast your cares on me. I care about you.
Yep.
And so here.
I was invited to a little kind of a neighborhood party,
Okay.
and the host noticed that there was one of the neighbors who was less than friendly to Christianity,
Okay.
and at me, well, you Christians,
Oh, sure.
you do.
Yeah.
And the host came over and said, "Hey, none of that."
Okay.
And I said, "I'm rather enjoying this."
Okay.
I said, it's good for me to hear outside views.
Right. How do
And
we look to you?
Become pretty good friends with that person.
Fantastic.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and there's a story behind that emotion. That
Oh, yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
this doesn't just come out of thin air, and it's not based on reason. It's emotion and past story,
Yep.
and you can't change it. You can't deny it. You know, to them, this is real.
Yeah.
And so listen to what in their mind is very real, very
Yes.
powerful and moving. There you go.
Yeah.
So So we try to be light and invite the world to be drawn into that light. And look at the ending, and they will glorify your Father who is in
Yeah.
heaven.
Yeah.
So it's
Because
not
they've
a
been
light.
watching you.
It's not a light unto me. You know,
No.
like an old flashlight where I just put the
Oh,
light
yeah.
on me.
And you get scary at
Oh
the
yeah,
campfire.
it gets scarier and scarier. The more we self-focus that light on ourselves,
Yeah.
I think the less appealing
Yeah,
it is.
yeah, there you
but
go.
instead, hey, let me take that light and show you somebody else
Yeah.
who always looks good.
Yeah.
That's God. It's a Jesus searching for lost sheep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so,
It's
Let the light.
pretty basic and simple.
yeah. Do you think that that light is especially bright for the little ones? Friends who are watching should know that we're in a studio right next to the main hallway here, and we have a river of children going
Oh,
through here.
it is.
You know,
It is.
and if we could pluck one of those 4-year-olds or 5-year-olds going by, are they easier, more natural bearers of this light than maybe 25 or 55 or?
Oh, I think so. I wish I could tell you how many times we've had parents of our little preschool
Yeah.
kids come and either join the church or
Yeah.
come to talk about faith because someone came home singing Jesus
Yes,
Loves Me.
Exactly. And look, Mommy,
Yeah.
and there's a picture
Yeah.
and such. I did a sermon recently where, yes, parents bring children to Jesus, baptism,
Yep.
but children bring parents to Jesus because they simply say, I like church.
Yeah.
Can we go? I like Sunday school. I like,
Out of
I
the
like hearing
mouths
about
of
it.
babes.
Yeah.
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 One of my favorite stories. We had a display on the front yard of the school, and it
Okay.
white crosses to represent how many abortions
Oh,
are done
sure.
each day.
Okay. Right.
The same time, there was a group near the Piggly Wiggly
Okay.
that were dressed in doctors, and they had like fake blood, and they
Oh,
were
good
holding up
heavens.
like dolls that were, and they had pictures of aborted
Oh.
children. And this conversation about what was going on in Cedarburg at
Yeah.
Piggly Wiggly, talk radio.
Oh,
I'm in my
oh,
in I'm
oh,
driving.
oh, you're
In
listening.
Cedarburg, you got this
Yeah.
stuff and talk radio going on and
Yeah.
on and on and on. Then I hear a lady say, my child is in school in Cedarburg. My little
Okay.
preschoolers at First Emmanuel Lutheran, and
Now your ears really perked
and
up.
they're against abortion too. And I thought, I pulled over and I thought, do I need to get back quick?
Right.
And she said, I'm for abortion,
Oh,
for abortion.
okay.
And then I went to pick up my 4-year-old,
Okay.
and maybe it was a 3-year-old, and said, what are those crosses for?
Right.
And the 3-year-old said, oh, those were babies
babies.
that the mommies and daddies didn't want.
Right.
And the kid said, we like babies, Mom. Maybe we should take them.
Oh, my heavens.
And the mother said, that was a half an hour ago, and I'm pro-life now.
Isn't that remarkable? Maybe we should take them.
Yeah.
Somebody should
Isn't
want
that-
them.
isn't
Somebody
that
should
neat?
want these babies.
Yes.
Right. Could we
Yeah.
do that?
Yep.
You
Yep.
know? And that little one has taken the shade off the light,
Yeah.
the very simple light that says, but we like babies.
So innocently.
yeah, exactly.
You know,
and
and-
maybe we should let them, I don't know.
And it wasn't
live.
a teacher that said, well, they
Right.
kill the babies.
Yeah, right.
No. Those
No.
were babies that the mom and dad
Didn't.
and said, you have moms and dads that love you and care
Right.
for you, and they would
Absolutely.
never want to
No,
get
wonderful.
rid of you.
What a gift.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
blessed, and
Yeah.
so we
There you
like
go.
babies.
We like babies. And such a simple word. But that's why I like this light imagery.
Yeah.
Because I think we've used that. It could be a candle. It could be something very simple. It's not, you're the light of the world. Think stadium lighting.
Yeah.
That's some enormous, the power plant now has to put on an extra shift to keep it going. But that little one is the equivalent of a candle saying, but we like babies. Maybe we should let them live.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
Or Jesus loves me. This I know.
Yeah.
And let that child have that certainty. Don't ever cross that child and say, I don't think so, or why would you think that?
Yep.
Nope. May that go on. As Jesus says, you must have faith like a child.
Yeah.
And so the child bearing that light, the child with that faith, that would be a good life goal to say, I'd like to be that.
Yeah.
The older I get, the more I'd like to be like, and again, our friends don't know, but there's a line of kids going by us right now through that window, and they're all looking in at us.
What are those two old men doing?
I don't know, but they're happy. They're happy, which is all we can really hope for. Yeah. Well, whether you're one of the kids going by us right now looking in the window or someone else, thank you so much for listening. And I give us credit that we got through 14, 15, and 16, 3 verses in one day.
This may never happen again.
So don't set your sights too high. We do have maybe 17 to 20. I mean, that would be 4. That'd be a lot, but it does sort of flow together.
Jesus is shifting gears. Coming up is those verses are kind of an introductory to what's going to be coming.
Yeah. But if we get to verse 20, your righteousness is going to have to be pretty high, or you will surely not enter into the kingdom of heaven. Yeah. So if we get there, we won't leave people out there.
You think the Pharisees are putting the screws to you?
Right. Wait until the real demands. But we will not leave you on the law of verse 20, because that's a law that we cannot last with. But we'll say, but there is one whose own righteousness was greater than any scribe, any Pharisee, or any of us. Yep. And what did he do with it? Freely gave it to us all. So there we go. Well, we don't want to give away the entirety of next week. No. But there we go. So thank you so much for being with us, and we look forward to you being with us again.
God bless.